Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Aaron with HEX Life and Style. In episode 4, I interviewed Justin Hutchens of Vintage Hutch. Justin talks about his obsession with Marlboro gear and how he's been doing some really cool one-of-one pieces during the quarantine. So grab your drinks, sit back, and enjoy episode number 4 with Justin Hutchens of Vintage Hutch. Okay, brother, let's go. We're ready to roll. So I am with Justin Hutchens of Vintage Hutch. Justin, what's up, my man?
What's going on, man?
Not a lot. Trying to keep my sanity. I tell you,
Absolutely.
doing these interviews has been great because it's been able. I mean, actually, although we're doing it via Zoom, it feels like
Right.
we can have a conversation, and I feel like I'm back to reality a little bit. But so, what are you into?
To be honest, I've been messing with clothes a little bit. I've been doing some one-on-one stuff. I've been doing some hand dyeing, some tie dyeing, hanging out. Really, I've gotten real good at Call of Duty. I didn't know I'd ever be that good at Call of Duty, but I've been buying. I've been doing a lot of online buying. That's really about it. Like, I don't do a whole lot. I go to Kroger every day, it feels like.
I noticed you've been running a lot. I saw that on your personal.
I have. I run a ton every day, just about a couple miles a day on a local farm, but it just passes time.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, let's jump right into it, man. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm giving everybody a behind-the-scenes look at some of their favorite Instagram handles and give a kind of an inside look of the vintage industry and kind of their thoughts on where it's going, how they got into it and all that. So we'll kind of jump right in. So kind of give the viewers, giving them an idea, how long have you been in the vintage game, kind of thrifting, not only selling, but collecting as well, and then kind of give them an idea of how you got started and how you got into it.
Well, I mean, I've been going to flea markets since I was a little kid. Like me and my dad would do that on weekends. We would go to the Georgetown flea market when it was up and running. So I've really been around the thrift, I guess, since I was a little boy. But I started collecting probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was a big eBay buyer. And then I started selling probably about a year ago. But I've always been kind of into the vintage style, into the vintage game.
Yeah. What is it? What do you collect? What do you like? Well, first off, would you say that you're a collector first or a reseller first?
I'm 100% a collector first, 100%.
Yeah. So what do you collect?
I have a weird obsession with Marlboro stuff. I collect anything and everything Marlboro. I have everything from the bags to a money clip. Like that's my wallet right now, is a Marlboro money clip.
Yeah.
Anything and everything, and I've never smoked a cigarette in my entire life. It's so weird that I collect Marlboro
Same
stuff,
here.
but
Same here.
and I collect it.
Cigarette in my mouth.
But I love everything, like all the adventure stuff. I have all the bags. I have the sleeping bag. I have the backpack. I have tons of duffel bags, and they're just there.
Yeah. What I think the first time that I met you, we did a pop-up together, and you were right next to me. And I remember when the first time I met you, I think you were head to toe Marlboro, and then you
100%.
Like every bag. I remember the first bag you pulled out. It was the big Marlboro Adventure bag, and then you brought another one out. I was like, damn, this guy.
I love Marlboro. I have a Marlboro sweatsuit. I have the sweatpants. I'm looking for the. There's actually a pair of sweatpants that I cannot find. They're the menthol Marlboro sweats. So instead of the red and white, they're white and green.
I've seen a couple people posting some of the menthol stuff, and I guess I didn't even realize it existed. But man,
I didn't either.
I love that.
I didn't know it existed at all.
Yeah, I love that green and white, man. I don't keep any of the Marlboro stuff I get. I usually don't keep. I have a bag. I have a duffel, and I just use it to kind of transport stuff back and forth. Because it's made so well, and it's also got so many different compartments. So exactly. I like that. But if I find a Marlboro menthol tea or something to that effect, I'm 100% keeping that for sure.
Absolutely.
I love that colorway. So let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned the tie-dyes and the one-of-one pieces that you've been
Right.
doing, and I've noticed a lot of them on Instagram, and you're doing a phenomenal job. Talk a little bit about that. What's your kind of, are you taking stuff that maybe normally wouldn't sell and trying to give it its own life, or are you just having fun with it and just trying to be creative and seeing if people like it?
Well, I'm kind of having fun with it at the same time, but I also like just putting my personal twist on some things. And I'm sure you can testify to this. Like sometimes when we're in the thrift and we're simply buying, when we get home, we realize that something has a flaw.
Mm-hmm.
Like you buy a crew neck and it has a stain, and it's like and you oxy it and the stain doesn't come out. What am I gonna do with this? So I don't mind buying stuff like that if I know I can dye it.
Yeah.
On one of those that I did, the Notre Dame sweatshirt, it was filthy. Like I think I gave it like 3 oxy baths, and it was eventually like I'm just gonna throw it away. I was like, you know what? Let's try this, and it came out great.
Oh yeah, I saw the combination of the sweatshirt and the jeans you did together, and then
Yeah,
the one as well. Both those were crazy, crazy cool. And that Notre Dame, I love that. I like that. I think it's like that paisley type
the
nice
paisley print.
paisley
Yeah,
print
yeah,
of Notre Dame, anyways. But with the aqua tie dye, man, it really popped. I liked that a lot. So we'll keep doing that. Definitely. I mean, you know me, I'm kind of the bleach. I love bleaching and tie dyeing,
absolutely.
trying different styles. Now, there's been a huge run on bleach, so I haven't been able to find any bleach.
Me neither. It's been a complete drought right now. I had some stored, so I was able to do some things, but they've got to be pieces that I really want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something as soon as I can get some bleach. I've got a lot of tie dyes and different dyes, so I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna do a dark dye on a shirt, and then what I'm gonna do is let that set in. I'm gonna let it dry, wash it, and then dry it, and then I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to do a reverse bleach of
Okay.
some different swirls and stuff on it to see how that comes out. I'm
Yeah.
hoping, and I don't know that it will, but I'm hoping if I use just enough bleach, what it'll do is it'll keep the dark dyes and then really lighten the other dye, making it look like kind
Absolutely.
of more like a pastel type tie dye.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
see.
crazy.
We'll see. But we'll talk about the shirt you got on, man. The Tupac.
Oh man, my
The
Tupac
Tupac
shirt.
tee, you pulled that one where?
It came out of a bin. I'll say it came out of a bin. I pulled it at the bins, and it was folded up. Like I didn't know what it was at first, and I literally just pulled it, and I said, "Oh my God, if this is what I think it is, then I'm about to go home." And it was. It's on a good tag. It's double sided, and this thing will probably never leave my closet. Nobody can ever offer me enough money for this.
It seems like I remember the day I think you shot me a message or I saw it on Instagram, the day you pulled that. And I have to say, I've not seen it in person yet, but just from this video, it looks even better. The color is popping on it.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I definitely would hold on to it. I'd have some fun with that. And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, because, that's your thing anyways. You like the rap tees and I just
exactly.
enjoy it. So, well, let's talk a
And
little bit.
the other ones that I pulled, like I pulled different ones before, and they just didn't fit. So like I always said, if I ever found one in the trenches that I was gonna and it fit me, then I was gonna keep it, and that's what I did.
Yeah, that Tony, I remember you pulled that Tony Braxton, and
Yep.
it was nice too, but it was smaller, right?
It was tiny. Yeah, it was tiny.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like the shirt I got on. By the way, you know
Yeah.
this one, right?
Yes, sir. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
I got this one off of you, and I absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
Now I've gained a few pounds during the quarantine, so I'm gonna have to slim down to keep wearing it. But I love this shirt, man. So let's talk a little bit about if people that maybe might not know you. You know, not only are you into the vintage scene really heavy, but
Right.
you're also into the shoe game. Uh,
Absolutely.
you've been in the shoe game for a long time. I think I just by looking at your Instagram from when you were back in college and all of that. So you've been a collector for quite a while. Talk a little bit about that, man. What do you like and how long you been collecting?
I have been collecting shoes for, I guess, hoarding shoes more than collecting. Probably like 7 years since I was, probably about 7 years. I like any type of wild color as far as a shoe. I'm probably gonna buy it. Like, I have my favorites. I love Jordan 1s. I love Air Force 1s. Just about any type of Air Max I'm gonna wear. And I think for me personally, a whole outfit starts with the shoe itself.
Yeah.
And you can't really get a good fit off if you have a weak shoe.
Yeah.
Regardless of whatever else you put on. If your shoe doesn't, vibe with you, then it's not the fit's not gonna go.
Dude, I've been doing it all wrong. That's where I'm going wrong, because I start with the t-shirt,
Bottom up, bottom
then
up.
the jeans or the pants, and then I put the shoes on, and I change shoes at least 50 times because I'm like, this looks
Bottom up.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good pointer. I mean, I'm going to try that moving forward for sure. So talk a little bit. Talk a little bit about you're in the vintage industry for a little bit, but you are still kind of new to it. What are some trends that you see coming after quarantine and after all the green light comes back on and all that? What do you see? What are some trends maybe that you see coming up? What are some what kind of, where do you see the vintage scene going?
I think it's I hope it goes this way, but I think people are slowly starting to get back into the thrashed idea of t-shirts and jeans and whatnot. Because when I first started, like, if I would pull a really dope shirt but it had holes in it, people would be like, no, like, I'm not doing that. And then, thankfully for, like, Kanye, Travis Scott, A$AP Rocky, those dudes have started to wear band tees and t-shirts that are just whooped.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, like, that's actually really dope. So I hope that kind of trends to normal people or people who I, sell to, will be okay with buying a shirt with holes in it.
It's funny you said that, because I've always worn, I was like, a lot of my shirts that I absolutely love, they have like the small holes that they're wearing at the neck,
Right.
And I just ordered one, man. I found one on Depop yesterday, and I cannot wait. So I'm a Beastie Boys, huge Beastie Boys guy.
Yeah.
I found the Beastie Boys Dynamite tee, and it is thrashed, but I got it for a crazy, crazy cheap price, man, on Depop from a guy. And it's funny because I didn't even know this, but I bought it because like I said, I wanted one of them I didn't have, and I wanted it. And I bought it, and I looked it up online, and it's Travis Scott. It's the one Travis Scott wore with the TNT thing, and then the Beast here, and then it says Dynamite on the back. And I had no idea what the value of the shirt was, and I paid like pennies on the dollar for it.
Yeah.
So I'm got my fingers crossed, because when it gets here, I know it's got some holes and some wear to it, and they promised me it wasn't dry rot. So we'll see, but I'm super pumped about that shirt. I can't wait.
It's amazing what those guys can do for us. Like, I would have never thought that if a shirt, like, I could have a shirt in here just hanging out that's a $15 t-shirt or a $25 t-shirt or whatever. But if Kanye or Travis or A$AP or one of those guys put it on, or even one of the girls like Tiana Taylor, if she puts it on, it goes through the roof.
Oh yeah.
And it's crazy how they can literally change and shape the whole game itself.
It does. I mean, I was talking to Thomas of Flashback Heat about that same thing. He was referring to the Megadeth T-shirts, and it's crazy because they're basically setting the scale, or setting the value of what a T-shirt
Absolutely.
is, which is kind of, I guess, kind of cool, but at the same time, it hurts the industry, I think, a little bit. But
it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse.
It definitely is. It definitely is. So that's kind of my thing too. The American Thunder tees were so popping, so hot, and I foresee them slowing down and the price really dropping on the bottom of those over the next few months. I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but the good thing is I think if you jumped on that train early and you were able to grab onto a couple or find a couple, you were able to get a good amount of money out of
Right.
them when they were hot. So talk to me a little bit about just a little bit about kind of what you think it's going to look like after all this, after kind of the green light comes on, after the quarantine. I know it's been tough for all of us to really source and find a lot of good stuff. Talk to what you think coming out of this, and also kind of speak to. I know you don't want to give up how you've been sourcing, but have you been finding some good things out there on eBay and on Depop?
Yeah, I have. I got a Depop tee the other day. The positive history. It's a Black History tee. I think I paid like next to nothing for it, and I just happened to look it up. It's on a Casey Colors, and it's going for like $130, and I was like, wow, not gratefully. It was a personal, but that was one of my good ones. I got 2 good hats in today and yesterday. Both of those were snipes. Let's see what else. I'm in some bidding wars right now on eBay, but after this whole thing sets aside, I think a lot of people before it ends, a lot of people are going to sell out. I think there will be a point to where people need the money, so they're going to start selling stuff that they probably wouldn't normally sell, which is okay with me because I'm going to buy, and I don't have a problem buying. But after it's all said and done, I think there will be less of us as far as resellers go, and hopefully more consumers. Hopefully people are starting to see the recycled clothes, and it's not just about vintage itself, but making money and all that stuff. But some stuff is just dope. Like some clothes are just dope, and where you can find them, I think more people are going to thrift, which is also a gift and a curse for me and you, because a regular Joe may walk into a thrift that we go to every day. We're not there, and he pulls a $200 tee or whatever. But
yeah,
I think it's kind of up in the air. There's a lot of gray areas where the vintage game will be after this is all said and done. I don't really know. I hope it's good.
yeah.
I think we all make it though.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. I think a lot of people will kind of sell out and get out of it, just because maybe they have something else kind of in front of them, and they don't have financially or aren't able to kind of keep going. I think we'll see the prices drop on a lot of stuff, which I think could be good. I mean, if you want to sell, I mean, that's the key. I mean, if you can put what I'm thinking about right now is I'm obviously not the stuff that I really think that will be worth something, years and years and years to come. I'm sitting to the side. That's a firm price, but a lot of this other stuff that's just kind of seems to be a trend or popular at the time, I think setting a level price on it and letting it go, and I think we'll have good buyers out there, because honestly, I don't think people will be wanting to go spend a lot of money on clothing at that point.
No.
And
no,
and I don't think, if anything, people have spent more time on Instagram through this whole quarantine, and they're starting to look at different styles and looking at different things, or they're trying to change this about themselves. So you actually may have more people that weren't even, aware of the kind of the vintage scene, and going from that standpoint, they may start trying to dress that way or change their style completely. Well, who knows? I agree with a lot with what you said, but so what do you? One of the other things, so we'll move forward here. One of the things that I've been doing with everybody is a PSA, so a public service announcement. I got this idea because I remember the cartoons I used to watch in the 80s and 90s growing up. It seemed like every G.I. Joe, He-Man, all of them had a PSA. So for you, Vintage Hutch, the people, what would your PSA be if you were just talking to people out there? And it doesn't have to be thrift related or vintage related. It can just be about life. What would that PSA be?
Speaking right now is in the times that we live in, I've lived by this statement my entire life. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. And that's just something that I've always lived by. That's something that's just always been instilled in me. If you're going through a tough time, I promise you it's not going to last. And that has nothing to do with the thrift. I love the thrift. I love everything about the game that I'm in. But right now, it's not. It's about making sure that we make it to the end of this quarantine. Like, a lot of people don't know where their money's coming from or whatever the case may be. But tough times don't last.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's awesome. I love that. I love that for sure. Well, listen, man, I won't take any more of your time. Get back out there. I know you probably got a lot of stuff to post. That's the sucky part of all this is posting it and getting it all out there.
Yeah, I've got piles and piles of clothes that I need to take pictures of. So maybe that'll give me something to do. I don't know.
Cool, brother. Well, listen, Justin, I appreciate it. And hey, stay safe, and we'll be talking here soon. Okay.
All right, buddy.
Okay. See you, buddy. What's up, guys? We're back with Justin, Vintage Hutch. We're going to do a quick heat check with Justin really quick. What's your favorite food?
Spaghetti.
Favorite movie?
Remember the Titans.
It's a good one. Favorite food, favorite musician or band?
Musician or band? Right now, band, AC/DC, musician or rapper, Nipsey Hussle.
Okay. R.I.P. Okay.
Yes.
What's your celebrity crush?
Tiana Taylor.
Who? Oh,
Tiana Taylor. I love you.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, brother. Well, listen, I appreciate it, man. It's been great. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk later.
Yes, sir.
See you, buddy. Bye. So I hope everybody enjoyed episode number 4 with Justin Hutchens of Vintage Hutch. That's an absolute tongue twister. But if you're not following Justin, go to @vintage_Hutch on Instagram. He has some great content, and he does some really cool one-of-one pieces as well. I like what Justin said. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. I think that's a great message for all of us right now. I know we're all kind of living a different life, and probably some of us are out there struggling day to day. But listen, keep your heads up. We will come out of this and stay strong. I hope everybody's doing well, and I'll see you next week.